Join Tim and Christina Madden, co-founders of Executive Career Upgrades, on their podcast, the Executive Career Upgrades Podcast. As an executive in today's highly competitive job market, it can be tough to succeed. However, with Tim's nationally recognized career advice and Christina's mindset expertise, you can reach your full potential. Tune in to upgrade your career and get ahead of the competition.
Hello, everybody. This is Christina Madden, co-founder with Executive Career Upgrades, coming at you live with our, 119th episode. And it's on a very special day, Valentine's Day. And if you are lucky enough to be listening to us live in our ECN group or on LinkedIn, you can see that we are very festive over at the ECU headquarters. It is Valentine's Day, and no heartbreaks over here. We're over here having, breakthroughs and fun, and just celebrating love today. So I hope you all are doing that. And all of you singles out there, go out and treat yourself. I love Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day and welcome to the podcast. And if you don't know us, normally it's Tim and I, but today it is Miss Chelsea Casey, our client success manager, and she's joining me here today as a guest. And so we'll dive into why she's here in just a minute. And we go live every week, inside the Executive Career Network. If you're not in the Facebook group, make sure you head on over there. We are actually at 12,700 members. I started tracking that every week, and that we are up 100 people from last week. So that's incredible. That's full of people, just like you in a job search, but it's also people who've landed the job. It's corporate leaders, it's decision makers you want to be connected with. We've had some recent corporate humor over there. So if you like that content, you'll definitely have fun in the group. And if you're watching on LinkedIn, be sure to say hi, drop your comments. And actually, I wanted to play a fun game. Tell me in the comments, what are your Valentine's Day plans? And if you share, well, let's see. Whoever has the best comment and the best plan.
What are we doing?
I'm going to send you a free copy of the day planner that we're going to talk about today, the Success Unveiled Day Planner. You can email me, Christina, with a K, at execupgrades.com. Once we know the winner, you can shoot me your address and I will personally send you a free copy. So do me a favor also, if you've ever gotten anything from this podcast, please head over to iTunes and leave us a review, and on Spotify. And, obviously, if you've had any friends or family that we've helped get a job, be sure to let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you think, what you want to hear, and what you've gotten from us. That's sort of like your payment for being with us here today, is leaving us a review. And as always, if you need help in your career and you want to do a call with our team, you can head on over to execupgrades.com/podcast. So are we ready to get into some special announcements? In light of our talk today, Success Unveiled, like I said, I brought our client success manager, Chelsea, in, and I have some very important questions I'm going to talk to her about: client wins, client struggles, and everything it takes to be super successful here in our ecosystem. And we're just going to pick her brain. Okay. Special announcements. I guess while you are all here is the Success Unveiled Day Planner, the ultimate planner for the fearless executive. So if you ever picked up a copy of my book, The Fearless Executive, and you ever got anything from that, this planner is especially for you. But the planner is also for anybody who wants to take control of their life, set big goals, and really wants to plan their day and simplify that. That's the most important thing, is how do we simplify planning our day so it's actually achievable. A lot of day planners out there overcomplicate things and then you end up not using it. So that was my inspiration to create the planner, is to simplify. Okay. So let's just jump right into it. I have recently gotten pretty obsessed with the definition of words. And you heard Tim talk about this a week or 2 weeks ago, that people are often just walking around and using words and absorbing content. And we don't ever really stop and think, like, what does that word actually mean? So there's 2 words I want to talk about today, and it's success and unveiled, because I was like, okay, let's talk about this. And so success, while it means something different to everybody, and let's see, Tim is normally my techie guy, so I don't even know how I'm going to keep track of your amazing comments with your amazing Valentine's Day plans, but please continue to drop them because I will have somebody monitor those for me. Okay, so success, let's simplify it. The accomplishment of an aim or purpose. Can we just make it that simple? Because so many of us are like, oh my God, I'm never going to be successful, or you never feel good enough, or whatever. But if you set a target and you hit it, you're successful. I love that. And I chose the word unveiled because it means to remove a veil or covering from something, or to uncover something in particular. And I've been sort of obsessed with debunking this thing called success. Like, how are all these people doing these incredible things? What's happening? And that was also the inspiration behind the planner. And of course, to show or announce something publicly for the first time. And I believe that unless you follow me on Instagram, this is the first time I've shown the planner publicly. So that's fun. And again, like, I just totally fell in love with figuring out, what does success mean? Now, with this formula in the day planner, as simple as it is, it's very, very powerful. And all of the people that I know that are achieving big success in their life are doing these very simple things day in and day out, over and over again, rinse and repeat. And so I'll quickly just go through what those things are. And it's planning your day hour by hour. Okay. So using your Google Calendar or the fancy planner, planning your day hour by hour, picking 3 top priorities. And what that helps you do is not get too overwhelmed with a list of 20 things. If you can get 3 big things done, your top priorities, that's enough to not only feel great, but it's enough to achieve really big things. It really is. Really reflecting on what inspired you today and what are you avoiding. So if you dial those in, you're already winning. And then that brings me to my next point, your daily wins. So yesterday, guys, I actually got Elena Cardone to agree to have a guest appearance on our podcast. And if you know anything about me, you know I'm a big fan of Elena Cardone. So that was a huge win for me. And stay tuned for those details also. But that was a win for me yesterday. And then you want to write down your goals. You guys probably cannot see this. No, probably won't even try. The light is bright in here.
Kind of see it.
Kind of?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've revealed the day planner. You all know what we're talking about, but here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring Chelsea on and ask her about her experience with the day planner, and then how these things really apply to the job search and client success. So, Chelsea, tell us, what has your experience been following the formula and putting this to work in your day planner?
I am absolutely obsessed with the day planner. Like you mentioned, it's super simplified. We talk about the top 3 priorities, which I think are extremely important. It helps you realize what you're focusing on and making sure you're staying in alignment with that throughout the day. And I love the What Inspired Me Today feature, because it teaches you to focus on the good. Like, let's focus on the good. Let's be real. When you're sitting there, like when you're having a bad day, you're focusing on the negatives, you're going to only see negatives. But when we're looking towards the future and what inspired you, you're going to see all of those amazing things that are around you, all the wonderful little blessings that you have throughout the day. Also with the daily wins, that's another thing that I really love, is the daily wins. Same type of principle. Like, let's celebrate ourselves and celebrate our success and everything that we've done to get us to where we are.
Instagram. We're live on Instagram over here also, guys.
I also love, what am I avoiding? So something major for me that I do with myself is, or let's say I used to do, I would spend so much unnecessary time, like focusing on things I didn't want to do, whether it was folding the laundry that's sitting in the dryer, or whether it was making a doctor's appointment, or doing those little things that feel so big. And the more that they stay in your head, the bigger they feel. And we start to obsess about them, and then it becomes daunting. When we focus on what we're avoiding, it takes it out of our head. It puts it on paper, or you can speak it out loud to a friend or anything as far as that goes, and it doesn't feel as major. Everything is good. And then goal writing. Absolutely. I love looking at all of Christina's goals too, because she is a high achiever, successful woman, and she makes it all work. And this is what you truly follow in order to maintain this level of success, keep growing, because you and Tim are always looking towards the future, always talking about the future. So we need to write down our goals. We need to get them out. We need to dream big, because we are capable of so much more than we give ourselves credit for.
Exactly. And even if it's the same goal every day, like the big focus, you guys want to know something crazy? This might blow some of your minds, but like my goal is I want to have a $200 million net worth. Like I might be crazy, but like I fully believe that that's possible. So I know it will be. That's one of the things I wrote in my planner today. And I've actually, if you look through, I've wrote it
all of them
every single day, even if it's just that one thing. And I have a lot of other more micro goals than that, but that's the big guy. And so when you have a big focus like that, it really helps you not to really sweat the small stuff or get caught up on too many things that aren't really pushing you toward that goal. How many executives do I want to impact this year? How much, money can I make? Who can I get on my podcast to have like global impact? So I'm really thinking big, and that helps to stay on target. We could talk about this. Well, we are going to talk about it all day probably, but what inspired me today, just like Chelsea was saying, if you know anything about me, I'm really, really big on positive mindset, and that always recenters me to a good, positive, neutral place. And a couple of examples over the last week that I've put on there is my son's endless happiness. Like he's just so happy. I don't know if I talk about this a lot, but my son has autism. So he has very specific developmental delays that he has to go to therapy for and really work harder than some other kids, right? And he just absolutely crushes it. He has a good, positive attitude, overall happiness and joy. And that really inspires me. And it just puts me in a really great place thinking about that. And yesterday it was Tim's it was my husband's, actually, I'll just look. It was, oh no, I have these planners everywhere, so it's not actually in this planner. It was his, commitment to speaking positively over our family in the morning. That's something really important to him. And that just inspires me. Like, how lucky am I to have a spouse that does that? And then guess what? If I'm in a place like that and I'm thinking about my spouse through that lens, I'm going to probably feel really good and have a really good day. And I'm probably going to treat him really well. So again, these items, top 3 priorities, what inspired me today? What am I avoiding? Daily wins and goals. That is the winning formula. If you can focus on those things every day, I feel like it's very difficult to be grumpy for too long. Might be a little grumpy here and there, but it's difficult to be grumpy when you're in that space and you're really thinking about that and you're thinking big. Okay. So what was my next question for Chelsea?
Ooh.
So what are some of the things on your I'm avoiding list? You talked about the laundry, but also I know that you guys heard me talk about, I think, procrastination 2 weeks ago. And I said, hey, I told on Chelsea. I was like, Chelsea puts off her schoolwork till the end and she pushes it because she works better under pressure. But also on her priorities, it tends to fall at the bottom because what do you tell us? So you tell us about this journey.
Yes. So Christine and I had a really great discussion about the procrastination thing. I completely understand, and everything that they were saying makes complete sense. But she also helped me to recognize that the reason for my procrastination with school is, yes, I perform well under pressure, but it does fall lower on my list of priorities. That is not to say that it's not important, but for so long as a wife, as a mom, I have always been trying to find the perfect balance between my family, my work, and my school. And there are times where that fluctuates as to what is at the highest priority. Now, where I am now, my family is and will always be my highest priority. But that is not to say that there are times, like, for example, last night, Tuesdays are my crunch night. I wrote 3 papers last night after working all day. My son had baseball, so I had to make sure that we took him to practice and all of that. But on those nights, I communicate with my family and let them know. They know now, just because it's a pattern. It's always Tuesdays. My husband knows that he's going to have to take care of dinner. My son knows I love him. I'm obsessed with him. He means more to me in the entire than anything in the entire world. But he knows the reason why I am taking my time away from him on that day, and why Dad's going to be the one to put him to bed. It's so that I can get all of that done. So communicating to the people around you, or even within yourself, what your top priority is of the day, of the moment, even, because it shifts throughout the day. Because when I was here yesterday, I was here for my normal working hours. That was my priority. Another thing is staying present. We need to be in the moment of what we're doing, especially when we do live these really busy lives. And when I'm at work, I'm focusing on work. When I'm doing my schoolwork, I'm focusing on my schoolwork. And when I'm with family, I'm just very intentional on where I put my time and efforts. Did I answer that question, or did I roll off onto a tangent?
You went on a little tangent, but I loved the tangent. Okay. I loved the tangent.
I think it's important for them, especially with our clients and everything. I hear you. So should I speak on my job a little bit, what I do?
Yeah. So we're going to move into that, but I did want to drive home one thing that Chelsea did say, which is wanting to be very present. And I think if you're listening to this, you are a high achiever. You are pushing for more. You do want to live a big life. And if I'm being just real with everybody, it's tricky, or can be tricky, to do those things and manage that, but also being present in your life. And so the word that she used is intentional, right? So making a decision about being present. Having the planner allows for this to happen. So you'll notice she said, hey, I structured bedtime that day, dinner that day. This is what's happening. And the more that you can plan, and the more that you can have structure, and then making a decision and being intentional, that's really where the freedom is. The freedom to be yourself, the freedom to be present, but then also achieve these really, really big things. I was talking to somebody yesterday who I hadn't talked to in like 2 years. And she was like, I got to tell you, I don't know. She's like, I don't know how you're doing all of these things, but then also like keeping yourself intact. And it's just so amazing to see. And I said, hey, like it really is just a decision. So she has multiple businesses, a really big life, very successful, but feels like she's losing herself and also losing the ability to be present, have the relationships, be with the family. And so if that's you, I'm telling you, having something dialed in with planning, having open communication with your family and spouse, like Chelsea was just talking about, and then being intentional about, where your mind goes during those times. But yes, Chelsea, tell us what you do here with our clients. We're going to pivot now into success as a whole here as an ECU client and employee.
Yes. So basically my job here is to make sure that all of our clients are successful. Now that can be from the very start. What I do when someone first starts, I send them a welcome email and just lay out where they need to go, the things that they should be doing in order to be successful. There are also people, I just want everybody to feel that they can reach out to me anytime they have a question, because a lot of times I'm able to just hop on a quick phone call and point people in the right direction, where our advisors, they're more scheduled with their times, because they have, how do I explain that in the right way? They have like
So when you enroll in our program as a client in a job search, you work with very specific executive career advisors on your interview strategy, salary negotiation, and work through our modules. Where our clients get really hung up is confidence, mindset, time management, feelings of, worthlessness. And this is where Chelsea comes in, and she's a little more flexible with her time. So she can just swoop in, help you come up with a plan. And it's usually some pretty simple action items that can get you back on track to work toward these big goals.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, I just really want to drive that point home. Like, any of our clients that are listening, if you are just feeling lost, confused, anything, I am here. I am the connector. I will get you connected with the right person that you need to be in front of. And a lot of times it's simply just getting on the phone, making sure that you're heading in the right direction. And a lot of the times you guys are, and I'm always so proud. Another part of my job, which is so wonderful, is I get to do the offboarding, which means that when our clients find their next role, I get to meet with them and hear about their experience, their client feedback experience, and hear the things.
She gets the fun job, okay?
It's just amazing. So I get to hear about certain areas in which people struggle, certain areas which really worked for people. And I truly value that feedback and bring it back to the team, because we want to make this entire experience as wonderful for everybody as we can. So the feedback that I receive, it does not just stay between us. It goes, it gets brought to the team. It gets brought to Christina. It gets brought to Tim. And we really want to focus on that, because your opinions matter. But yeah, that's what I do, and I love it, and I have so much fun.
So tell me, so when you talk to a client who's really hung up in this process of job search, which, by the way, of course, guys, we say this every week, the job search is extreme. It can be extremely stressful. Many people are experiencing a lot of rejection, defeat, lost time, lost income, lost relationships. And there's a lot of high emotion and stress that goes into that. So when you talk to a client, how does the time management thing play into it for them? So, and this goes back to the planner.
Yes, which is why everybody should get it. One more thing I want to touch on the planner is the timing. You did the 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. I like that because it's not dated.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We can write in our own date. That's really great. So ask me the question one more time, because I distracted myself.
Yes. So the planner is non-date specific. We love that, because if you miss a day or two, you're not wasting a lot of pages, and then ultimately your planner landing in another pile of books that you're not using. I love that. So I just write in my own date. But how do our clients in a job search really struggle with the time management, fitting it all in?
All right. I actually brought myself notes on this. I wanted to bring this up. So everybody's situation is different, but also a little bit similar at the same time. So there are clients that I meet with that are working full-time jobs while going through our program, which is completely understandable. We have clients who are not currently working, which is completely understandable. And a lot of the clients that are working their full-time job believe they're at a disadvantage because they don't have as much time to dedicate to the process, which is why I know Tim says just 45 minutes a day. But I mean, going back to priorities, it's how bad do you want this to work? Obviously, people need to have lives and figure all of that out on their own. But having a planner like this and writing down, like where you have, would you open that baby back up? Where you have the right goals. So for example, the goals. I want to have a new job by this date. You have to break it down into smaller little pieces to, before bed, I usually watch Netflix, or I usually like wind down doing this. You can choose what you do within the program to fit that time. Another problem that people have is, I'm working during the group calls, so I'm not able to attend the group calls, and that's really putting me at a disadvantage. Well, good news, we record all of our group calls, and although you're not able to go live on the group call and get your question answered, that is when you when you email me and I will write down the question. Megan does her executive strategy for job search, and something that she now does is I can send a question from a client that reaches out to me, and she will be sure to address that on her call. So even if you're not there, you can watch the playback and have your question answered. Just the most important thing is advocating for yourself when you need help and asking for it.
You know, you really do have to be your own advocate in any goal in your life. And I've been part of multiple, group coaching platforms. We offer one-on-one coaching and group coaching, but I've been part of multiple group coaching, and I would find myself falling in those same excuses, or, oh my gosh, I didn't hear XYZ that I was looking for today, instead of really staying in tune with what I need and advocating. So listening to that recording, gathering your questions, getting with your coach or your client success manager, and staying on track. Another point that Chelsea made was putting a date on this goal. So for those of you in a job search, be sure that you have a pretty good understanding of when do you want to have that job by. And then being the type of person that it takes to get that job. So that's the big question. Who do I have to be in order to achieve these goals? And then, guys, it can be a little scary, but you have to start dialing in your habits and living your life as that person every single day. And that's what this planner allows for, is a daily schedule to write your goals and create a plan to get just 1% better every single day and work toward this goal. How bad do you want it? That same person I was talking to yesterday, I said, you talk to 99% of people and they don't even have goals. So if you're writing down your goals in a planner and making a plan and taking action and getting mentors and advocating for yourself, you're already in the top 1%, because people just aren't doing this. If you're a planner out there and you're somebody who considers yourself to be a pretty good planner, drop it in the chat. Just write planner. I want to know, if you consider yourself to be that person. Tim always makes a joke, he's from the Army. What if we went to battle without a plan? What would that look like? And so thank you to Chelsea for being there for our clients, because again, it's usually just a really small, minor thing that gets people off track. It's really easy to get in your own head. If you've read my book, The Fearless Executive, that's what it's about. You got to watch those thoughts. So, my show's on Netflix right now. I'll watch that. That's a big one. A thought, just like she said, which is, hey, I wasn't available during that call, or hey, this, whatever. You have to watch your thoughts, because those generate emotions. And truly, truly, guys, the outcomes in our life are reliant on good emotions. Your emotional state does determine the quality of your outcomes in your life. Toby says he's a planner. Mary's a planner. Bryce is a planner. I think somebody up here said they already pre-ordered it. Great. I hope you guys enjoy that. Can materialistic items be counted on goals? Heck yes. Heck yes, they can. I mean, you want to focus maybe first on what's going to make you happiest. If it's that car, cool. But what I do find is that when you talk to somebody, it's usually not the car that's the thing, or the house. The house to people often means safety. The car often means you made it or whatever. But of course, write those things down.
Don't judge goals.
Don't judge your goals. No, that's for sure.
Just make some goals.
Just make some goals. A Range Rover was on my goals for a long time, guys. I just pre-ordered one. Somebody else said, you guys got to bear with me here, because again, I'm techie challenged. So, and I think I'm looking at the Facebook comments. I don't know if these are Facebook or LinkedIn, but somebody said that they were going to the Melting Pot for a 4-course dinner to quote unquote our place. So that's David. I'm guessing, is it your place because it was your first date? Oh yeah. Oh, wait, celebrating. Oh, your engagement 7 years ago today at the Melting Pot. That sounds delicious. Haven't been there in years. Planner, meticulous planner. Okay, well, you guys will love the day planner then. And let's see, did I have anything else? Oh, Chelsea, why don't you tell us about a couple of your 2024 goals?
Ooh, these are fun, right?
Yeah, goals. Guys, this is my favorite conversation.
I know, it really is. So some goals that I have, and we go through all of our PPF goals.
Personal, professional, financial. So when you hear the words PPF around here, that's what it is.
That's what it is. So okay.
Are you ready?
No. I've been in school for a really, really, really long time.
So tell us what it's for and how long you've been and how far you're away from your educational milestone.
Okay. So I am, as of today, 4 weeks away from graduating with a degree in psychology. I'm very excited about it. And I've been doing this for the past 7 years since my son was born. I've just been plugging away at this this goal of mine. So when I went into my PPF meeting at the beginning of the year, I wrote down this goal and I was like, yes, graduate from college. And I went in there and I was like, I know this is a goal that I can achieve. And it felt really good because I knew I was going to achieve it. But Robert, hi Robert, you're the best. When I went into my goal with Robert, or went into my meeting with Robert, I was like, yes, I have this goal and I'm going to achieve it. And he's like, okay, well, what are you gonna put in its place? Like,
oh wow, that's a big question.
Yeah, which I loved, but at the time I'm like, come on, like, let me just celebrate this goal. And this is something that Tim talks about as well, is, you know, a lot of people do these fitness challenges, or they say they're gonna do something by a certain time, and then they go and celebrate that and completely counteract what they've been doing this entire time. So it just drives home the importance of adding more goals to the list once you achieve them. Because for me, I was like, well, when I graduate from college, I have that degree, I'm good to go. But where do I go next? Where can I go further? So something that I personally am very excited about is in this business, I'm around all these amazing people. Why not learn sales for fun, you know? So my next goal when I graduate from college, which is very soon, we're 4 weeks away, I am going to be learning the sales process. And part of my goal for that is I've gotten enrolled in some of these really cool sales programs and everything like that, soaking up the experience. So now we're in the middle of defining what that goal is, because it's not just, I want to learn sales. That's too broad.
Why?
What is my end goal for that, you know? So we still have to work that out. But my next goal is to learn sales. I am a lifelong learner. That doesn't just mean in school or in the traditional educational sense. I learn from everything. I learn from every conversation. I'm into it.
And guys, for anybody who's like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't like sales. I hate sales. I hate sales. Just a reminder, everyone is in sales. Like if you were born and walking on 2 feet on planet Earth, like you are in sales. You are constantly enrolling people in your vision for life, who you are. It's what interviews are. So learning sales in general is good for anybody, even if you're not looking to be like a sales professional. And the importance of asking yourself why is a huge question. So if you know Grant Cardone, he teaches this in the 10X rule. No, excuse me. Sell or be sold. Like if you look at the world and how it operates, you're either selling or you're being sold something. So what side do you really want to be on, right? Okay, guys, I think we're getting ready to wrap up. Oh, and Mary said, you're welcome. And why sales? And what are we selling? I'm confused. Sales and psych. So she's a psychology major, which, yes. So listen, guys.
I can answer that question.
Okay, go ahead.
So also in my psychology educational journey, I've also taken some teaching classes, because a big portion of psychology is, of course, you have to learn the person. It reminds me of sales, honestly. You have to get to know the person. You want to know why they're looking to either change something about themselves, learn something about themselves. And then you need to be able to teach or sell them on their treatment plan. You have to explain why it's important. You have to really know the individual person themselves. You have to learn how they learn in order to get that out there in the right way. And with sales, it's the same thing. You want to know why the person is interested in your product. So they tie together. Does that make sense?
Oh, very much. Psychology and sales they go hand in hand. And if you're curious what we sell here specifically, we're an executive career coaching company. So we help people at the director, VP, and executive level land their next dream role by going through our system and our assistance with the job search, specifically how to connect with people, interview strategy, and salary negotiation. That's what we do here. We're consultants and we sell our services. And today I pitched and am selling my Success Unveiled Day Planner.
Yes.
So people do get a little icked out by the word sales, but we're always selling. Right now, I'm selling you who I am and what I stand for and my mission and my core values. Okay, so if you haven't got your hands on it, the Fearless Executive book on how to control your thoughts, emotions, and actions to have big, big outcomes in your life. All right, Mary. And the Success Unveiled Day Planner. That's what today was all about.
It's really amazing.
This will help you
really amazing.
Plan your day and achieve your goals. And as always, if you are struggling in your job search and anything we said today about the job search resonates with you, head on over to execupgrades.com/podcast. And my email is Christina with a K, Kristina @execupgrades.com if you have any questions. And I think the only comment I saw, and I will go back through them and I will have my marketing team go back through them for Valentine's Day plans, was the melting pot. So I think we have a winner, and I think that was Toby, but I'll go back and let you know. And if you want the day planner, email me with your address and I'll send it from yours truly. It was awesome to take some time to spend with you guys today, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.